Yes, guys, welcome back to flatcapeurotalk. And this one, we're going to be comparing Wilfried Singo and Dumfries. Denzel Dumfries, the guy that's recently moved to Inter Milan. I really thought he would be there for some time, but Spurs, with kind of ESPN, plenty of other kind of somewhat valuable or maybe credible sources, are saying that Spurs are really interested in Denzel Dumfries. I'd be interested in Denzel Dumfries if he were available. We're obviously linked to a Wilfried Singo as well, and it's pretty clear that Paratici knows the Serie A market really well. So, what sort of right wing back maybe will we go for? So, I figured maybe with these two available now to look at the right wing back spot, let's maybe compare Wilfried Singo and Denzel Dumfries, which one might be better, and just kind of look at maybe some of the stats, maybe see where areas of their games that could be improved. Maybe there might be some areas that might be a bit alarming. So, let's break this down. Do hit that like video if you do enjoy this video. But everybody, let's just compare backgrounds. Everybody, just quickly, of course, Wilfried Singo, Ivory Coast international, Denzel Dumfries from the Netherlands, born in Rotterdam, which I believe is one of the bigger cities as well in the Netherlands, and he represented them extraordinarily well in the Euros. An exceptional player during the Euros. 26 years old, whereas Wilfried Singo is 21. Of course, both play right wing back. I think they both also maybe have had some experience in a back four. Both very tall as well, like exactly what I think Sean Butler wants. Is in the case of Dumfries, though, he does play for a much better team, and a team that is, obviously challenging for the Serie A title, where Torino is playing, somewhat well mid-table Serie A, but they haven't really scored a lot of goals this season, so you do have to take that into account, coming from two different teams at the moment. His contract, Wilfried Singo's, is up in 2023, which is exactly why I think we're probably going to maybe lean towards him. But Denzel Dumfries just signed there. His contract till 2025, valued around 20 million pounds. Dumfries, it says maybe it will be around 20 million pounds that will bid, where Singo is around 13 and a half. And I reckon we'll pay around 20 million pounds for Singo as well. Maybe Torino might charge a bit, considering that there are a lot of suitors for him. And that's where this original video came from when it came to Wilfried Singo, is that a lot of Premier League clubs are on the scouting, market for him. But let's compare Wilfried Singo's stats and Denzel Dumfries. In terms of being a good dribbler, Wilfried Singo certainly hits that market. I mean, much better than Emerson. I feel like in that regard, actually has no fear in terms of taking on his man, especially when we saw the highlight videos. I really enjoyed Wilfried Singo. I thought it was one of the better highlight videos that we've done on this channel. But yeah, I would say his dribbling is maybe his best attribute, and that's kind of what we've been looking for. In terms of crossing and everything like that, in terms of putting balls in the box, like the stats just didn't really compare that well to other fullbacks in the Serie A. So some of the stats that maybe you would want me to put in there, I kind of left out because they're really not that good. And maybe the ones that I did include at the bottom there, though, that do show that, he's a bit alarming, is that the shot creating actions aren't very high, but you could maybe put that down to the fact that Torino just aren't that creative of a side. And like I said, haven't even scored that many goals. There are teams that are 2, 3, 4 places below them, like Sampdoria, that have scored more goals than Torino this season. So you could maybe give him a pass there on that stat, but his passes intercepted, are pretty low. And the fact that he's well below the bottom half percentile of that, just shows that he does maybe give the ball away. His possession stats showed that on FBref that maybe he miscontrols it a lot as well. I can't really vouch for that, but that's what the FBref is telling me. So maybe just a bit more raw, maybe a bit shaky on the ball, especially with maybe controlling it, maybe making decisions. But we will see Denzel Dumfries in comparison, and maybe it is just something that fullbacks have to undergo. But Ariel's one extraordinarily high, especially since he is 6'3", so I expect him to be high up there. Fouls drawn, I'm not surprised by this. I mean, the guy is a great dribbler, very powerful when he dribbles, and knows actually how to kind of swerve and weave very intelligently, kind of through players as well, by the looks of it. So I'm not surprised that he gets taken down a lot. And then for a team again that maybe needs their wingbacks to create a lot, like Torino, seeing those touches in the attacking penalty area being very high is also really good as well. So Wilfried Singo's stats, for a team that, again, mid-table Serie A, I think he is showing, yeah, he can really make that step up. But let's move on to Denzel Dumfries. Players dribble pass, it's not nearly as high as Wilfried Singo. So maybe you could say that Wilfried Singo is a bit more skilled on the ball and actually probably has a bit more kind of elegance to him than maybe Dumfries does. Dumfries is extraordinary athlete though, and he's also receiving a ton of progressive passes for Inter Milan. He's almost kind of that pace and behind threat for them, especially since Lautaro Martinez sort of is that, but not exactly. He's not really the quickest, as maybe as you might know, but Denzel Dumfries certainly is one of the quicker players on any given football pitch. And in terms of his touches in the attacking penalty area, he's receiving a ton of them. Progressive passes, he's receiving a ton. He has a lot of shots on goal. He's really good in the air, especially at the back post. Extraordinarily good in the air. He ranks in the top 3% for aerials, one of all fullbacks. Shot creating actions, decently high up there, but I feel like he should be up there, considering the team that he's playing for. The one really alarming thing about Denzel Dumfries was, his pass completion percentages for like any sort of pass, a medium pass, a long distance pass, a short pass, passes in general, just really low and, seems to misplace a lot of passes by the looks of it. And that was a bit of an alarm to me because is he maybe being put in areas where he's, making a very decisive pass that could lead to a goal? Is he, maybe being responsible for more passes that are dangerous than maybe other players? Or is he really not the best at link up play? I am a bit confused by that. So do let me know. I feel like I have seen him when put under pressure against Liverpool. I thought he played well against them, but there were moments as well that when I did see him give up the ball. So everybody, I do want to kind of know about that. What is it? Why is his pass completion percentages so low in the Serie A? And then players dribble past are also not that high. So if you were to compare him to Wilfried Singo, maybe the big difference there is Wilfried Singo maybe a much better dribbler, much better at kind of getting the ball up the pitch by himself. But maybe someone like Dumfries has a bit more, athleticism to get himself in the right attacking areas. He also really, cleverly puts himself in good attacking areas to be able to score. I think he has 8 goal contributions in the Serie A, whereas Singo has 6. But Dumfries has played almost 1,000 fewer minutes than I believe Singo has, unless. No, I mean, not that many, but I mean, he's played only 19 and a half full 90s, where Singo has played 26 full 90s. So when you do look at it that sort of way, like Dumfries does have extraordinary goal output, but there are some stats that are a bit alarming, I think in his case. So how do we kind of summarize this? What you could say with Singo is that, he's clearly a skilled dribbler, and maybe that's exactly what we're looking for, to be honest. Sorry, but I'm going to put myself into honest. Singo, skilled dribbler, really attack minded, exactly what we're looking for. Good in the air, really tall. Everybody must remember that. Powerful, especially when dribbling, and is young and is adaptable. Like, really could probably mold him into something really special, and maybe has a higher ceiling than someone like Dumfries. Dumfries, though, I mean, I've seen a lot more of him than I have Singo, so I can vouch that he just gets up and down the pitch. Like, it's just incredible to see. Extraordinarily athletic, especially at the back post. I think those two kind of go together. Really good jumper, really quick as well. Just extraordinary, just defensive pressure as well. Just, I don't know. The guy's just, he is kind of like a mosquito, just all over the pitch and just really, really just a nuisance, to any opposition, either going forward or defensively. Maybe not the best one-on-one defender, but can be a nuisance, I must say. Very, very powerful, especially when maybe, making those surging runs. Very attack-minded, loves making that run forward, and is really, really aggressive. But everybody, let me know, which one would you take between Wilfried Singo and Denzel Dumfries? I think either great options. They might be going for around the same price, but that's only according to some outlets what we might get Denzel Dumfries for. Set around 20 million, but it seems like we would go more for that considering he just moved there. It seems hard to believe we would even get him, but do let me know, which one would you take, especially price, in consideration. That'll be all for now. Everybody, do hit that like button on your way out, and I will be seeing ya.